Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome back to the Making Me Watch Movies podcast. The movie you're making me watch today is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, 2022, written and directed by the Daniels.
Facts.
Did I get that right?
I think it might just go by Daniels, but
Do
I
they?
think
Yeah,
it's,
I think I fucked that
interchangeable.
up.
Interchangeable.
It's
I'm gonna start it over.
Daniels.
I don't think it's the. I think it's just Daniels.
I don't think they want it
Daniels.
mixed up with Lee Daniels.
Yeah. No one wants Lee Daniels. They want just
Lee
Daniels.
Lee Daniels,
I think-
Everything, Everywhere,
I
All
don't
at
think they're
Once.
gonna get upset if
can see
you
Lee
like
Daniels.
say the Daniels in like in a sentence, the Daniels. But if just like what it says on screen is like directed by Daniels. That's all it says. There's no the in the credits.
Daniels who?
Daniel San.
There are two guys named Daniel. It's Daniel Kwan and Daniel Sherhart or something. I don't know the second guy's last name. I forgot.
Sounds suspicious.
Suspicious?
No, dude, just two friends, two buddies named Daniel, making movies together. It's kind of beautiful, actually.
Yeah, I
Shiner.
wasn't a fan of their first movie too
Daniel
much though.
Scheinert.
There we go.
That sounds right. What was their
The first
movie?
one, that was,
it the
Swiss Army Man.
Why didn't you like Swiss Army Man?
I wanted to like it, and I really wanted, and I think it was part of this movie too, is that I really wanted to like this, but I just started Swiss Army Man was kind of, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like the vibe.
I
didn't like
remember
much about it.
I remember being at your house and you put that on.
We
and
watched
were
it.
watching it,
Yeah.
and I watched like half of it, and I had
Yeah.
to go, and I went home and I watched the rest of it, and I was just like, "What the fuck was that about?"
Yeah, that was an interesting ride. That one was. I don't know if I loved it, but it was like I still appreciated it, and it was kind of the beginning of what they did with this movie, of like a bunch of weird practical effects. And I mean,
mean,
they're very strange storytellers, have a really bizarre sense
they're-
of humor. Clearly,
They're
but
good storytellers though. They
Yeah.
tell great stories. Like no matter if you into their stories or not into their stories, I definitely applaud them for being good storytellers. They're great
Yeah.
filmmakers. They're
And
if you like their shit or not, they're still great filmmakers.
Yeah, and I think that's what I liked about Swiss Army Man. It was just like a wacky story, and visually it was very interesting, very well done.
You know-
their vision is
They're
interesting to
original.
me.
They ain't
Yes.
got. I mean,
Yes.
there's beautiful homages, obviously, to a lot of things, and we wouldn't have this movie that we're talking about today on the Making Me Watch Movies podcast without the Matrix. But
Yeah.
they're goddamn original. They're goddamn goddamn it. How'd you think of
Yeah,
this? Bagels.
this movie is incredibly original, incredibly just one of a kind. Like I don't know how many things. I mean, even though it's a multiverse movie, like this did the multiverse so much better than like any Marvel movie ever did.
Yeah, they didn't focus on it. They
No,
didn't
it was just
focus
part
on
of
the
the-
mul- It was yeah. I mean, and the way that they gotta travel the multiverse, it's like what?
The
Yeah,
the
cut your feet.
setup,
That's different,
the
yeah.
setup for introducing the multiverse was pretty great. Like that's
Yeah.
what
Which
I think got
was?
me the most is that like, which was her husband.
The elevator scene.
turning
In the
all
elevator.
crazy in the elevator. And at that point, you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, cool. Like that's
Yeah.
cool.
Her husband, played
I
by
I do
Ki-Hugh
remember watching this.
Kwan, back with a
Yes.
vengeance. Data,
Yeah,
short round.
Short round.
short round.
He did two
Encino
roles.
Man.
think-
He was in Encino Man.
He was in Encino,
True.
Man?
He
He
was
had like a small role though. He wasn't like a lead,
Yeah.
but he was.
Well,
on.
he was probably.
I already
four
know
feet
that
I
tall.
think
because
that
I
was.
saw- I only know that because I
You
saw
see
him
the
and Brendan
Hollywood thing.
Fraser like embracing and crying, being like,
Yeah,
"We
I
got
saw
here,
that.
we're back, baby."
Oh, they're both.
Yeah, and I think that
back.
was like his last major movie, more or less.
Encino.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, I think so.
thought he
I
only
think
did.
he maybe had like a couple small roles, but like he was out for like 30 years.
Yeah. Well, he's way older.
He had a
What a
yeah, he
comeback!
maybe had like 5 acting roles. Yeah, he killed it. He's great. I really think he's gonna win an Oscar. He already won a Golden Globe last week.
You think he's
A
gonna beat
globe?
Brendan Fraser for the Oscar?
No, they're gonna be different categories. Brendan
Support.
Fraser's gonna be lead. He's gonna be supporting, and I
there's
think
a chance. There's
I
a
think they'll
chance.
both win. I mean, Brendan Fraser didn't win the Golden Globe a couple days ago, but I think that was because he like protested the ceremony or something like that.
Yeah, and
He's
not everybody
protesting
who
shit
wins
now?
the Oscar. Not everybody who wins
Yeah.
the Oscar wins the Golden Globe either. That's like the one that like
That's
they can
true.
give to somebody else just because they're gonna win the SAG and all that shit too. You know.
Yeah, but some people end up sweeping the whole thing. Like I think Ki Kwan is gonna get all of them. Like he's already won like a bunch of random like smaller ones like the Gotham Awards, like something like Spirit Awards. He's got the Golden Globe. He got nominated for the SAG. Oscar nominations aren't out yet, but I think he's a lock.
Usually, if you win the SAG, you win the Oscar.
Yeah, and if you win both,
Then
you're
you win
definitely
both.
pretty much in.
Who's
Yeah.
up for it? Who's up?
I mean, I'm
for
saying if you
supporting
win
Yeah,
Golden
do you
Globe and
know who
SAG.
the other nominees are? I'd really like to know.
You tell me who's up for it. I'll tell you
for
who's
supporting.
winning.
Yeah, for supporting.
Oh shit, that's
Because I can't really think of anybody else this year that
I know.
top of my
I
head.
only pay attention because like he did so good to me. I'm like, yeah, he's got it. He's fine. For what I'll go SAG.
Yeah, go for supporting. Yeah.
Okay, I know there's the couple guys, Barry Keogh and Brendan Gleeson from Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, they were good. They were both good.
They're both. I think they're worthy of nominations. I don't think they're gonna win because I think he's gonna kill it. Who else? Where's the other guy?
Out of those two, Brandon Gleeson would be the one to win it. You know what I mean? Because he's been around for a while, and
for sure.
it almost could be like you deserve this. Here,
Is this the year of the comebacks?
Yeah. It seems to be. Yeah. And then Paul Dano and
gone.
Fablemans.
Nah, he's not gonna win for that.
I don't think so. And then Eddie Redmayne in The Good Nurse.
Nah, this dude's got it locked. Yeah. Short round's about to win an Oscar.
For
Fablemans.
Sure. I think so.
Fableman's a fucking boring movie, huh?
It was it took its time. It was a little slower than I would have liked, but I loved
that's
the
a
movie
nicer
once
way
it was
of saying
over.
it than yeah. Good movie. Mr. What's his name? Spielberg strikes
I love
again.
the end. Yeah, and I love the end where David Lynch was playing John Ford.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Whole that line about the horizon. Now I'm noticing it all the time in movies.
You know what really?
He said that was line for line exactly what he said to him.
That's cool.
Oh, that's great.
I think what I took away from the Fablemans the most is that back in the day, you could literally like walk onto a movie set or to a production and ask to get a job, and they will entertain you, and that's pretty awesome.
Like you did that. Remember, you did that to.
Sure.
You went to Adam Sandler.
Yeah, when we were on The Voice a lot. Yeah, on the Sony lot, right?
Yeah,
that was funny.
Oh no shit, that's funny. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot your shot, bro.
Nothing came of it, obviously, but
he kicked the door in, Adam Sandler, to whatever his fucking Dick House Productions is or whatever.
Yeah.
Happy Madison.
I actually just saw a video.
Schwartz is here.
Of
No, go ahead.
I saw a video of Seth Rogen talking about Jonah Hill, and Jonah Hill was like his audition was set for I think it was Knocked Up at the time. And Jonah Hill just approached Seth Rogen in a movie theater because he happened to see him in a movie theater. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be trying out for your movie, blah blah blah." So that was his first impression. It's like, yeah, of course I hired this kid. He's talking to me in the movie, and he's hilarious. So it's like sometimes, yeah, you got to shoot your shot.
I'm kind of over Jonah Hill right now, but he definitely made some funny shit.
You made me hate him.
Yeah, really? He's kind of he's a little much right now. I mean, he made some funny shit, of course, but until he kind of changes his whole like pretentiousness, I'm kind of over him.
My algorithm has picked up my hesitation toward Jonah Hill, and it has started making me hate him.
Weird.
I'm seeing like clips of him being a douchebag. Or just saying
did you guys write a haiku?
Oh yeah.
What's that? Oh,
did you guys write a haiku?
I did. I don't really like mine, but I got it.
I'm not gonna like yours.
Did you?
I'll go first then.
Okay.
Time travel, divorce papers, Fupa Jamie Lee, shirt round his back.
Nice. I got butt plugs, googly eyes, Wayman's flying fanny pack. We have to be kind.
I like that one.
Thank you, Anthony. Do you have a haiku?
Okay, so I was looking for my haiku this whole time, and I kind of didn't hear yours. So can you both repeat yours?
I'll go again.
Let's go. Haiku time. Haiku time. Haiku time for Buddy. Everything all at once. What's your haiku?
Mine was butt plugs, googly eyes, Wayman's flying fanny pack. We have to be kind.
That's nice. That's a good one. I do like that one. Schwartz?
I think you went 7 on the second line right there, Jake.
We have to
7.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 7.
I thought it was 4-5-4.
No,
5-7-5.
5-4-5. 5-7-5.
Damn it! I didn't do it right. Well, I'll read my 4-5-4.
Give us
my 4-5-4.
Give us your Schwartzy haiku.
Time travel, divorce papers, Fupa Jamie Lee, short round is back.
Yeah, you did. Only 4. It's fine.
I thought it
You
was
tried.
4-5-4.
You tried.
Fuck
So
it,
it's
dude.
5-7-5.
Five,
seven,
I'll
five.
know this for next time.
That's a dope poem, dude. Mine's
What's
out.
yours, Anthony?
It's one of a kind. The grass ain't always greener. Short round, killing it.
Do you guys think
going-
it's
I had to
weird
say
that
ain't.
not only was this movie originally written for Jackie Chan, but Michelle Yo kind of looks like Jackie Chan?
Well, I mean, they're both Chinese. I
Yeah,
guess,
but
in
there's
that, in
more
that
to
sense.
it than that. They both have a lot of the same round facial features. They kind of it looks like that, like they could play brother and sister.
I wonder if they have.
I hope they have, because they should.
I mean,
If they
they both
haven't, they should in the
come
sequel
from
to
the same
Everything
background.
Everywhere All at Once too.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
I think I liked I liked that they went with Michelle Yeoh. I feel like the female lead was cool, and I mean it seemed like mostly about like the mother daughter relationship, and the fact that if it was Jackie Chan, we wouldn't have gotten fucking Kiwo Kwan back. You know,
That's true. That's true.
and to me that guy almost makes the movie. Like,
Well, why
everything-
not?
Every scene he was in
Why
was
not?
great.
That you think that part would have just been written out? You think it
I mean,
would have
we
been
wouldn't
a
need a
girl?
husband.
I think it would have been
woman,
would have been a
probably,
woman, probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Michelle Yeoh was going to play that part.
possibly. But I like what they did with it.
Yeah,
I'm sure it would have
dude.
been great either way, but I'm glad. I'm so
I
glad
mean,
like short round.
They say like they thought they were writing they say they were writing for Jackie Chan. I imagine it was like their first draft was like, yeah, of course, this could be a Jackie Chan movie, and then what it turned into was something way more better.
I mean, it just makes sense for it to be Jackie Chan because he's a star of action and he's kind of older in life.
It
and
makes sense for that to be the
cool
obvious
thing.
first choice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then
Exactly.
once it
Do you-
became what it became, this was mo better.
Yeah. Did they
Well, I mean, the
say
storyline is still
why?
the same.
Did they say why they went with Michelle Yeoh instead of Jackie Chan? I know
I
I've
have
heard
no
that
idea.
about
We don't-
Jackie Chan,
we
but I
don't-
never.
We don't know
never got a
at
reason.
what point they switch. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't
Yeah.
know. I think in my head they like we're gonna write a fucking Jackie Chan movie, and then once they like wrote the story and saw what it was gonna become, it just made more sense to go this way. Or
Right. I hope so.
Jackie Chan said no, and they had to,
Right.
we don't know what the circumstances were.
Yeah.
Unless we
And
Can we
like,
get
who's
Jackie
the-
Chan on the phone?
And who else would they go with? And they probably
Jackie
like
Chan.
thought, oh, Michelle Yeoh, it's another great choice. She's a kung fu master from that same era.
Or Ki Hugh Kwan came on. They were like, "Oh, we got to make him this character because he can't be Jackie Chan
Yeah.
character. So we got to switch." We don't know under what circumstances they switched. And I've listened to a lot of Daniel's interviews, and they haven't said
Yeah.
that.
And they were just, yeah.
All right, let's
I
get
know they
into
never, I don't remember them ever saying why they switched, but yeah, it's great. We should get into it. We should do it. Walk through it.
I'm into
Get
it.
ahead.
Dude. I'm into it.
There's a lot to this movie to unload, but I think we can do it.
It's very simple.
So it's simple, incredibly layered, but like when you break it down, it is a little on the simple side sometimes.
Once you
'cause
start
it's
talking
not-
about like every single scene, it's like the most complicated movie in the world, but it's pretty simple.
yeah. And there's a lot of things like playing at the same time as each other, things like that. But there's not really as many versions of everybody that I thought there was initially. So that kind of helps that we see and
That
interact
we
with.
see, yeah.
So
Because technically there's an infinite versions, right?
right, yes, technically. But yeah, it's about this Chinese immigrant family, or at least the mother and father are immigrants. They own a laundromat. They have a daughter. The daughter's gay, and they need to they're getting their taxes audited. So super fun setup.
And Gong Gong. They have a dad too.
Yes, they have old Gong Gong, the grandfather. He's funny.
Who's also a legend in his own
he's
right.
hilarious.
He's been in a lot of fucking movies.
Name your
Right.
six
Gremlins.
favorite Gong Gong movies.
That's
I mean, Golden Child,
Fuck yeah.
Gremlins, and I don't even know the other movies he's been in, but he's one of those guys you've seen him. And you're like, oh, it's that guy.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
definitely been in more
Right.
movies.
James Hong.
Right.
Continue.
So yeah, they're just kind of starting more or less just starting out where they're having financial troubles. We learn that Wayman, the husband, is going to divorce or wants to divorce Evelyn. Evelyn's the main character, we see him having divorce papers, but she's like just too busy, too frantic with like everything going on with the laundromat, everything going on with her taxes because they're getting audited. So she's just kind of in this crazy chaotic world. Everything's kind of frantic with her, and you can
Seems
tell
like
that's
that's just
affecting
her life, probably for the
that's just
most
her
part.
life. Her life is chaos. Yeah, like she has a strained
Gon's,
relationship with her daughter.
yeah,
Yeah,
and her
Gong Gong
father
is
and her
yeah,
husband.
yeah,
She got a strained relationship with
yeah,
everything, and her customers. She's just not having a good time.
yeah,
She's trying to run this
yeah.
busy laundry laundromat. They're trying to whose dad is Gong? Is it her dad or his dad?
That's her. That's her dad.
Okay,
He calls him dad, but that's her dad. That was
yeah.
established at some point. But yeah, and then of course they get audited, so that's super fun. And everyone
And
loves
she's a
getting
little
audited.
aggro about everything all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like in Wayman, I think is great because like him, you can tell is just like he's a happy guy. Like he's just trying to enjoy life, trying to have a good time with things, putting googly eyes on shit, dancing around with customers. Just he seems to just really appreciate joy.
You see a lot of yourself in
Not
Wayman,
necessarily the
Jake?
daughter. I see aspects of me in Wayman. I think he's more outright with it and more I mean the googly eye stuff, sure. Because I think a lot of this movie is about oddly those googly eyes are a device to give life to certain things and to entertain people and like it's
Jake. There's
I
no
got
way.
before
There's no way you thought of that before this movie, though, right? Or like
well
you, okay. So for those who don't know, Jake's notorious for googly eyeing things. And
yes
was that
okay,
your intention? Was your intention to give life and happiness to inanimate objects?
not necessarily the life aspects, but it's more so to entertain people. Because I think if you look at googly eyes on something random, it's fucking funny.
It is
like
fucking funny.
it's
I want googly eyes on
so,
my fucking Joker back here.
yeah. So that before we get too far ahead, this movie I feel like there's also some rootedness in like Buddhism, because a lot of the life is just them suffering. But the one key thing that they have is Wayman is and he's basically practicing the art of cultivating joy, and that's like a practice in Buddhism where if you're to avoid the suffering in life, like you need to be able to cultivate joy, and that's what he's doing with these googly eyes, and that's what I did when I did googly eyes because I knew it would entertain people, and it entertained me. If I'm having a shitty day at work, I'll fucking pop googly eyes on something random,
people.
and then I have a little smile. I have a little smile. It's a good time.
You guys definitely have the same meaning behind your googly eyes. I'll give you that.
Right.
Make
but then
people
I think
laugh.
then the movie obviously dives more into like it creates this not inanimacy, just like it just gives life to certain things like from the rocks to the laundry bags to the whatever. And I don't know where I should go, but yeah. But it's because it's almost like the googly eyes were the opposite of the donut, or not the donut, the bagel.
Yeah, which the bagel device was pretty awesome too. I highly appreciated that.
Why were the googly eyes the opposite of the bagel? Explain.
Well,
explain that.
From a physical standpoint, you have the bagel is just this black circle with a white void.
All right.
The googly eye is opposite. It's a white circle with like a moving
like
black
the yin
piece
to
in
the
the middle.
yang.
Exactly.
Oh shit, Jake.
So on this I mean a lot of this I did come about this in like interviews and things like that, but then I noticed a lot of random things.
This is Making Me Watch Movie podcast. We're three geniuses making up our own minds.
Oh yeah. So this movie is
Schwartz over here. Schwartz over here went no mic stand. He's so good.
And maybe because like the movie is heavily revolving around like Chinese culture and things like that. I'm sure that's why like the Buddhism was sort of like a backdrop of the story. It wasn't ever like discussed. No one ever once said the word Buddhism as far as I remember.
No, I never thought about it until
there.
just now, but I think that makes sense. I'm not really versed in the verses.
Yeah, because a lot of the story was oddly her name was Joy, but she was going through suffering the entire movie, and that's kind of what the ground of the movie was her trying to get acceptance from her mother and her trying all of these different things in life, and every single thing she ever did was never good enough for
Well,
her
that's
mother.
how she was created as the villain, right? She had too much pressure and she wanted her to do this, and she
Yeah.
What's the
went
name of the
crazy
villain?
in her
Bobo
mind.
Chupaki?
Her,
Boo Boo Chewbacca?
her mind went crazy.
Jobu Tabaki.
Jobu Tabaki.
I think Jobu Tabaki.
Sorry, Schwartz. I talked
That's a
over
great
you.
name.
What were you saying?
That's a good name though, Jobu Tubaki.
Rakakuni.
I was saying I don't even know what the fuck I was saying.
That's how she was created, with the pressure.
Oh yeah, she was created because her mom put too much pressure on her to be
Exactly, yeah.
something that she didn't want to be, or
Yeah.
something she wasn't.
In an alpha universe, and then that kind of broke her to be able to see every different version of all of herself, and she was like ultimate powerful.
I think that's one of the things I did really like, because it's this thing. I did like this movie. I thought it was a good movie, and it's obviously made amazingly. It's the amount of detail they put in this movie when you go back and watch it a second time, and then you even watch like a making of it, and they
Mhm.
describe all the things. You're just like, holy shit. Like, it's honestly like what movie making's about. It's like
Mhm.
you're not just framing up on somebody in a room like to read lines, which it can be, which it is a lot, but like you're just really trying to tell a story visually with every amount of time that you have. You know what I mean? Like, just the things in the scenes were just it's a movie made by people who love making movies, obviously, and that's what I liked about it.
Quick
I
thinkers.
think it got hyped up a lot for me, because I didn't see it in theaters, and I just saw it like the other day for the first time. So I was like, yeah, it was good. It's a good movie, but like I do respect the movie. But keep going, keep going with the story.
I know it
Do you think
did have hype
if you
behind it,
saw
but
it in theaters, like if you saw it earlier, you would have appreciated it a little more?
I don't think so, because I really didn't like Swiss Army Man, but I also did appreciate
Oh,
how good that
this
movie
is next
was
level, the
technically.
Swiss Army
Well,
Man.
well,
yeah.
well. Let me finish. Like, I appreciated Swiss Army Man technically, because like it looked great. It was super original, and technically, like the filmmaking of it was awesome. Like it took you on an adventure, and it was something you'd never really seen before in a lot of ways. There were some visuals and ideas, and it like just him riding around on that fucking dead body. Like, what? Why? Like,
Powered by
why? But who
farts.
cares? It looked awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, run by farts. Like, that's that's amazing. But I just don't know if like I'm all in on, like, I don't know if their movies hit me the way they hit a lot of other people. You know what I mean? Maybe I
Yeah.
need to keep going with it. I'm not saying I dislike it. I'm just saying I don't know if it's as good as
Also,
everybody's saying.
you're not a gay Asian immigrant or from an immigrant family, which I think is, I know the other writer, David Shiner, is not at least Asian, but I feel like this was definitely written for. I listened to a few interviews with him, and they were saying how different it hit Asian theaters, like when they went and saw it with mostly Asian people, versus like where people would laugh, where people would cry when she says you're getting fat for the first time, how much of an impact that has on a specifically Chinese immigrant family, because that is how they showed love to each other. He was saying it's just kind of them telling you that you're noticed, that I'm noticing you. It's not, it's shit like that. So he was saying it.
That goes into the detail again. You know what I mean? How much detail they fucking put in there.
Demographic. We're not. The movie hit everyone the same, but I feel like it hit a certain audience a different same. You know what I mean? Maybe a little harder, maybe a little more real.
And I think some of the Asian culture, like it's they're taught to like hold back their emotions in ways. I can't speak to that completely, but like as from what I heard from one of these interviews, they're kind of talking about that as well. How it's like they learn to compartmentalize and keep things in. When that was kind of that conversation when she's like, you're getting fat. Like, she wanted to tell her so much more. She wanted to be like, why aren't we getting along? Why we need it, like, but
and they
she just doesn't know how to communicate that.
It made that comment so powerful, especially in the end.
Well, that whole scene in the end, like the little monologue that Michele Yo gives, and like the hug, like that's a great scene. That's just really good. Yeah. Even she said, like, my favorite line from it actually was like, well, if this is the only time it's really going to matter, then I'll cherish these times more than anything. Like right now, it's like living in that moment. You know what I mean? Like,
come on,
just appreciate everything you got at this.
If you're not crying, you don't have a soul.
Oh, dude, you know what I noticed about things lately over the past like couple of years is I cry at so many things.
I'm crying right now.
Happy cries. It's insane. It's insane how many happy cries I do. And I'm just like, why am I crying?
Because you a little bitch.
I think it's you're alive,
You're a little bitch now, dude. You grew up into a little bitch. So did I. I cry all the time. I cry all the time.
I think that's what
movies.
another.
Jake's always
I watch
been a
people on
bitch, so-
stage. I watch
Yeah.
people. I watch bands play, and I cry, dude.
Yeah,
I shit you
I
not.
think
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, such
Yeah,
good
no,
stuff.
Emotional
I can see
concerts,
that.
yeah.
I can definitely see that. I think the last time I cried at a band is when we saw Perfect Circle, though, because like they played some songs I'd listened to for like years and years, and I could probably like recite like the exact everything about it, and then I heard it live and I was like, oh my god, this is so dope.
I
I'll
just
shed a
think
tear to
of,
Fish show.
I think of being on stage. I think of performing, and I think of what would I can't like how the feeling I
Sure.
would have if I was singing a
Sure.
song that people loved so much that not only they like
Mhm.
were doing this to it, but they were singing it back to me. Thousands of people. I'll
Yeah.
cry right now, dude. Thinking of that. And nobody's even playing.
That's pretty amazing.
Playing. It's
And
amazing.
it's such a nostalgia thing because people are, especially younger people, are so connected to certain types of music and certain songs and certain bands. Like you come up with that, you almost like grow up with that type of thing. So, like especially now when I see certain bands and concerts now, like it takes me back. Like it just brings back all these memories and stuff like
Guess
that.
who's
So
back?
it's such a trip.
Back
But this
again.
movie did a lot of good emotional things. I think
I
it's
cried.
one of those movies that it'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry. I think when a movie can do that to you, it's pretty fucking well written.
It's so good,
It's
and
a
it has
well-made movie.
dildos and butt plugs riddled
Right,
throughout
yeah.
it, and it's probably going to win an Oscar or two.
Hilarity, yeah.
That's
Do you
where
know
Hollywood is
one
these days.
do you guys know the reference with you know how there was like a guy that had like a sex dungeon in his office at one point in the movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
He was
that.
like a boss. So his name on his desk was Richard Long.
Oh,
Dick
the
Long.
movie, the Death of Dick Long thing.
Death of Dick
Yeah,
Long. And
yeah,
that
yeah.
guy who was Richard Long was Daniel Scheinhardt. And he played
the guy
Dick
getting spanked.
Long in the movie Death of Dick Long.
Jesus Christ!
And he directed that movie. So it was a little like, you know, it's riddled with movie references too, I think.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah.
References.
I think that was did you guys see Dick Long? Or,
I didn't.
Yeah, I watched
I
it
didn't
when it
notice
came out.
that, and I didn't see that movie. I probably saw the
Death of
name
Dick Long.
Dick
It's
Long
pretty,
and laughed.
Yeah, it's not like on the same level as his other movies. Because Daniel Kwan wasn't part of Dick Long, but I think the Death of Dick Long was pretty funny.
It was a
for what it
funny.
was.
It was a cool movie.
Yeah.
You know what it is again? It's a cool idea.
Yeah, it was a simple dark comedy,
Yeah, yeah.
and I recommend it if you get a chance to check that out. I think it's on Showtime as well.
I had to read the fucking Wikipedia.
Well, that's just phoning it in because you missed all these messages and meanings and visuals and everything like that. So
They got a few shorts out too. That
Well, they got a lot of music videos too. That's how they
They
came
do,
out.
yeah. A lot
of
They
music
directed a
videos.
lot of famous music videos.
Turned down for what?
Turned Down for Was the first time I noticed them, and it was
Yeah.
when that
But I
came
wanna
out.
see-
Somebody came up to me and it was just like, "Have you seen this fucking music video?" I was like, "No," and I don't really care to
Yeah.
either. And then they showed it to me. I was like, "That was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah, similar visual styles.
Yeah, definitely, especially like the fight scenes and like
Yeah.
the quick cuts and like the paint, like those.
Yeah.
That's one thing we haven't really talked about a lot is how dope the fighting was in this and how they shot like the full fucking fights in like one like wide shot or a couple wide shots instead of like all the rapid cuts. Like I heard a lot of people talk about that, and I was like, as I was watching, I was like, yeah, it's true. Like, this
Well,
seems
they're-
like an old fucking Jackie
They're,
Chan.
yeah,
movie.
they're
Yeah.
especially Michele Yo, who is well versed in fighting and
Yeah.
doing her own stunts, and you're not gonna have to cut around people
Kung
not
Fu
doing
Master.
their own shit, you know.
But it's just good that they did it like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Out of
Didn't make
respect
it look
for
like
the
a
old ones,
fucking-
too.
I respect it.
Jason
It's just
Bourne
better.
movie.
We just need to get away from that fucking Jason Bourne style of fight scenes. And I think the Kingsman was kind of a cool way to
Kingsman's dope.
the cool
Those
fight
movies are sick.
scenes. John Wick has changed that. I just want to see people doing real things, quick cutting.
You know what's interesting? And I think sets John Wick apart from the other ones is the fact that they use a lot of guns, a lot of gunplay.
Yeah,
Like in all these movies, there's not much, but his shit is guns. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
yeah. But
Sets it
just
apart a little bit for some reason.
yeah, well, he's
I'm not
al-
saying it's better
not-
or worse.
he-
I'm just saying
he.
I'm not
There's
saying it's
also
better
a
or
lot
worse,
of
I'm saying,
scenes
like-
that are not guns. There's a lot of there's
when I think
he fucking
But when
kills
I
somebody
think
with
of
a
John
book in the
Wick-
third one.
when I think of John Wick, like when I think of fucking like Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan, I think of like fighting with their hands and feet and chin, legs and whatever. When I think of John Wick, I picture him like running in with like two guns, just like taking out a room. That's how I think of it. It's like pop, 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 like almost like John Woo style, like ballerina with a fucking gun shit.
It is. It's a dance they do. Jackie
Yeah,
Chan uses a
100%.
lot of his surroundings. Jackie Chan's very popular for using like whatever's around him to fight with. Ladders, trash cans,
Yeah.
and shit. I like
The first
that.
Jackie Chan thing I ever saw was Rumble in the Bronx. And I was like, oh shit, because I think that came out when we were like growing up. And I was like, oh my God, this was sick. It was on like HBO.
He's always jumping off shit, riding it
Yeah.
down. Like
Yep. And
scaffolding.
like Anthony said, like using ladders or using like fucking tables and like jumping through them, but also using them like as a weapon at the same time. It's
And
just sick.
he also was like he was I don't know if the first, but he turned it from like a super macho thing into just like something he had to do, and he always got hurt, and he wasn't like Bruce Lee where he was just like fucking smack you down and then stand over you. He'd be like he'd hit you and then he'd get hit and be like that shit hurt, and then he'd like fight back.
Yep. I noticed that too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this movie actually explored that as really well. Also, like
Jackie Chan would have been amazing in this movie. Let's not be mistaken.
Like for the example of the Wayman character, like he was not a macho guy at all. Like I mean, there was the alpha Wayman who she referred to him as one point as, oh, you were Macho Man. It was that was kind of funny, but like at its core, like that guy was super
the same
sensitive.
Wayman.
He was kindness, like that speech that he gives, like whatever 2/3 through, like that. We need to be kind to each other, like that shit was moving. Like that was a great performance. That, and there's a lot of moments where that guy just like nailed that fucking character.
Yeah.
After they saw that the movie thing where he was talking to her in the alley about like, oh, I wish we could have just done taxes and laundry together. Like
that when he was the success they're when they're both successful, yet neither of them are happy.
Yeah, the versions of them that weren't together, that they went their separate ways. He became a businessman. She went into the acting world, which is funny because I liked how they used actual clips of Michele Yo on like red carpets and things.
Yeah, perfect.
It was they nailed it. Like
I was listening to them talk about
their vision is so impressive.
I was listening to them talk about how their workflow on they edited this on Premiere on like a MacBook. And they were teamed up with Premiere because they were giving them like access to this beta system where they can share files like way easier and stuff, do team stuff. And he said they would call Premiere every now and then, their assistant would, and be like, yeah, we're doing this, and this, and it keeps crashing. And they would just go, well, why are you doing that? Like that is not what this program is made to do. Like you don't. They're like, we don't care. This is what we did, and we just need to know if we could fix it from this point on. And they're like, all right, let's see. That's cool. I love that. I love anyone that edits a dope movie on Premiere. That makes me happy.
Only got to
we didn't get anywhere.
Yeah, she's at the taxes. I mean,
we got to the tax place. That's when we meet with the alpha Wayman. Yeah, he tells her like you got to do all these things. Oh, what are they like?
Well, hold on. If we're gonna tell the story, like you got to tell she meets Jamie Lee Curtis. Go ahead, Anthony. You go. What happens at the taxes?
No, we're about to meet Jamie Lee Curtis. We're in there with in the elevator with the whole family minus the daughter who was apparently supposed to come but didn't. And this is where we first see Ki Hugh Kwan or Wayman turn into Alpha Wayman. Yeah. You're like, Alpha Wayman. Does he I don't know where they have like old Bluetooth headphones for some reason to change him, but this is the first time we see him
to that world somehow.
He tells her there's fucked up shit going on in my universe and I need the right what's her name? Evelyn to come back and fucking beat Jobu Tupaki. You gotta come out. This is where it gets like it like most time travel movies, or time travel or multiverse movies. There's a lot of shit that doesn't make sense, but he says, go out.
It's the best part.
Doesn't have to. Turn right and go this, or like go do your fucking taxes with your family. Come and save our universe, or go do your taxes, and I'm gonna turn back into regular Wayman, so you can't even ask me any questions. And then he turns back into.
And then imagine being her in that moment, though. You're like,
yeah, she's like, and then she goes out. Obviously, she doesn't fucking go into the janitor's closet, but she's thinking about. Oh, he writes her directions, right?
Right. Was that
what
like
does he
the put the
write?
feet on the wrong feet or something? Put the shoes on the wrong feet?
Yeah,
Because it's like the key to go to transporting to different universes somehow is doing
weird shit.
something improbable, or basically like
Yes.
there's moments where he has to cut his fingers, like paper cut his fingers. One time she snorts a fucking fly, like shit like that. Like that's a funny concept of like this is how you move through this whatever
And the more,
multiverse, whatever they
well,
call
it
it.
was like the more improbable the act, the higher the
Yeah.
likelihood of you being able to do it. So yeah, it was like what
Right.
they just had to do weird shit. What
Like
I'm trying to
one of
think
the
of like
recurring
what was
ones.
the weirdest shit that they, because they did some weird shit. He ate his chapstick.
Right. That was one of the early ones. I think the hard one that was like the through line was she had to tell Jamie Lee Curtis that she loves her and means it.
Oh yeah,
And she kept trying to. She just kept saying, "I love you." Oh, no, I don't. Like, but
yeah.
at that point, it didn't to get to the hot dog the hot dog finger universe. So that was the world that she learned to love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, that was the
Hot dog
coolest part
fingers, bro.
is how they
Jesus.
were just always talking. Like the whole point of it was like the decisions you make in your everyday universe you're living in at that moment just changes so much shit in all the other ones too, and
Right.
how you can take the people's powers and energies and feelings and stuff and use it for yourself. Like
Very
that was
Matrix
real cool
like.
shit. Like, yeah. I mean,
And I'm not talking shit on
it-
that in any way. It was just like
no.
that's how I would
think
explain it.
Yeah, you kind of are just a god of your own universe when you realize that you can use every being of yourself from every universe. You're right. It kind of
Yeah.
if you because like the villain, she perfected that. She's like, okay, well I can be the most powerful thing because I can use all my power from every existing universe of me. I mean,
Yeah,
she
she's
just calmed
woke, dude.
down at that point. Well, I was about to say,
Yeah.
right? That's what caused her to do it. She kind of just calmed down and thought about it. She's like, you know what? Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
like she just it was like realization, right?
Acceptance.
Yeah.
Because that was the mother that accepted her. Because
Yeah.
really, it appeared that she was just trying to kill all the different versions of Evelyn when she was really just looking for the one that would accept her for who she
Yeah.
is. And it's so beautiful.
So simple, but yet
So simple.
like that was probably the point of this movie. When they wrote a movie, they were like, "What are we gonna write?" And they said exactly that. They're like, we wanted to make it about a mother and daughter to where she realizes that she does care about her. Like, how can we do that cool? And that's this is what they came up with, which is amazing. That's so dope.
How to write a mother-daughter movie? Probably throw in a bunch of universes.
I mean,
And Kung Fu.
That's what happens. I mean, it builds up to that. You know what I mean? If you're a real creative person, I guess.
Yeah, I think the jumping off point was they wanted to make a Kung Fu movie. I think that was where the true start. And then it just got.
But also, besides for that, like people put like meanings in their movies and shit they want to convey and the information they're throwing at you. You know what I mean?
It's so personal. This movie seems so personal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when does Evelyn start
So they're
to play the game?
Well, she punches Jamie Lee thinking that she's coming after her again, right? That's when she starts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, inadvertently, her fight or flight kicks in. She's like, well, if he was telling the truth, this would be the time to do it, right?
And then that's when all like the security comes, and that's when all like these weird people from like the multiverse kind of come in to like stop her.
Yeah.
But then there's also the other version of her that decides to just go home and fix the taxes. So there's kind of those like two storylines going on. That's the Evelyn fighting this weird multiverse villains in the tax office, and then there's also the Evelyn that went back home to finish the taxes. So there's those two kind of storylines working over top of each other, and then eventually Jobu comes in. Jobu Tupaki, her daughter,
kind of
Joy.
snapping back and forth out of him, right?
No, somehow they do snap together. I don't remember how, but I don't think she's necessarily snapping. I think there's just the two versions of her. Like they realize like, oh, there's another version of you that went home and you're doing your taxes at home now. And then but that version's still her. Like there was just the two, because I remember going into it thinking like, how did they, like, because I saw it a couple times before I watched it again last night. I couldn't remember how they.
I feel like it's
they referenced it.
It's essentially like she is at home doing her taxes, but her daydream keeps pulling her back in. You know, like she was talking to her husband in the car, right? And then like she was pulled out by Jamie Lee Curtis at one point back into the. So I feel like she's like bouncing back and forth.
I think so. And that maybe that's what
we
leads
don't know
to
what
her.
the fuck's going on. This movie's
it's hard
pretty
to
confusing.
talk about. It's I mean it's not exactly confusing, but it is a little bit. Yeah,
This movie's an experience.
it's hard to like break down what's actually happening.
Yeah, it's hard to put it all into words and like a description of it, but there is definitely a lot to it that makes it work like that. Obviously,
It's a beautiful story. So for a while, they just keep snapping back and forth between those two worlds, right? Where she's trying to figure out how. Like, I think she eventually. I just want to try to remember when she like starts really playing the game.
I think it's around then because I think like eventually Joy or AKA Joe Butabaki comes because they're like in the office still trying to escape these people. And then I think
when
even
does she say "I love you" and means it for the first time? I feel like that's the first time that she travels herself.
I see what you mean. That's
it's
pretty
the
far
scene
in, honestly.
It's with Jamie Lee Curtis fucking flying knee kicking her in.
No, that's way it's still way later because she's trying to say I love you, but at that point, but she doesn't mean it yet. Because are you talking about when Jamie Lee Curtis is like jumps down the stairs and like kind of means it?
She's jumping down the stairs.
No,
that's when
she's not there yet. She keeps trying to say I love you, but it doesn't work because she doesn't mean it. But she does a weird thing where
I'm watching it right now.
She does learn karate at that point, like where she does something weird and that sends her to like the kung fu.
But I think that's when
back and then she's able to like fight her off.
That's when she starts playing the game. That's what I mean by playing the game. That's when she starts like
I got you. Yeah.
Being like figuring out how to work it. Jamie Lee Curtis is coming down, and like that's when she learns to actually say "I love you" to fucking what's her name, and mean it.
Yeah.
She goes back. She becomes a singer.
Yeah, because the "I love you" thing doesn't happen until after the hot dog finger world. Because that's when because like they're in a relationship.
Says, "I love you" and
together in the hot dog
hits the button. That's what I'm talking about. That's when she first says that and hits the button and it works. So she must have meant it.
Yeah.
And that's in the stairwell. Jamie Lee Curtis flying down. I
don't think she meant it yet.
Movie.
I think she didn't. She do something. She said it, but then it didn't work, and then she did something else.
Nope. Like she said it and it didn't work, and then she said "I love you," and then it did work.
Okay.
And then she got sucked into the universe.
All right.
You want to watch it? You want to watch it?
Nah, I believe you.
You want to watch on my broke ass iPad?
Tricky world.
It's confusing. Look, here she comes. Oh, yeah. Here she comes. I love you. She means it. Turns green. Clicks on. What a dope scene with her, or a shot with her flying down the things like that.
Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And then just this shit. I mean, it's it looks so good, but yet it's like I think it was like them and 7 other people did all the graphics to it on After Effects and Premiere.
That's what they were talking about, how like on all those Marvel movies, there's usually like thousands of people who do it. On this one, there was like 7 people total.
Just for that like scene of her flying back, that probably would have taken 75 people in a Marvel studio. There was I was listening to him say that at points, instead of like calling their because they had 7 like effects guys, they had a team of 7 people.
Yeah,
they would send
like
them
the friends.
Yeah, and he was like and he I think a lot like they found him on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, he said sometimes I would just like I could do this in like an hour. I'll just put it in After Effects and do it myself.
Right.
Like that's the kind and like you said, Schwartz, these guys are just trying to make a dope movie. They're not trying to follow the process like you know not normal but traditional people. They're not it's more than just not even having a studio. They have a vision that that they're trying to create that's so personal to them that they don't care how it gets done. They don't need to send it out to get done. They don't need it even to be perfect. They were like, a couple times I heard him say, do not get this on Blu-ray and pause it because you will see the seams and you will see people in the shots and you will see where we fucked up. But that's not what matters. What matters is the experience while you're watching it. Yeah, you can see where they fucked up, but you have to get it on Blu-ray to pause it and watch that. I think
exactly.
I think it's dope.
It's a great movie, and like I think my point is like they're enjoying every second of making these movies. Like they're 100% just like this is us, which is dope.
Yeah, and they're young guys. Like the Daniels
They're
are
like
are
34.
yeah, they're when they made this, they're early 30s now. They're mid 30s because this was made. I think it took them like 2 years to edit because of the whole COVID was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
What is that?
but shit, kind of great. I don't remember something that happened. Doesn't matter. But people had some time, do some editing, stay
Yeah,
at home,
they had
and
time.
they killed it.
They
did a
did
great
something
job.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, they put in the work.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
certainly.
Another fight scene where she blinds herself as a child, and then she can see in the dark. Like that's the kind of shit that was cool.
Yeah, they did this behind the scenes thing where they paused and in slow motion showed you every single person she turned into in that one scene where it shows all the beings of her,
Yeah,
and it was pretty sick. Like there were some awesome ones in there. There were some really goofy little funny ones in there too, but like a lot of them were really really dope.
yeah. It was like an alien version of her, like a grape
Yo,
version of her, things
great
like
version,
that, like
member
different, like
berry
yeah,
version of her and shit.
yeah, yeah.
A
Like,
member
and then there's
version?
like there's a dog version of her. There's like a cat person version. They just had to think of all the shit they
Yeah.
could put in this thing, and they put a lot of it in there.
And
They-
their humor is like the next level. Like the way they approach things is just like so wacky in a way. Just like that, just funny. Like like
Yeah.
you said already, but like you could tell they had to have had a great time just making this.
Another thing they were saying was rather than writing out every person and being she can be in the universe, they said they said that they collaborated with the universe. They would just I don't want to have to write in the script for this specific stapler to be on this table. I just want there's a stapler over there. Let the world figure out what kind of stapler that looks like, or what kind of they worked with props and makeup and costumes to just kind of be like, all right, well, let's use this, and this, and you could be this person. They'll do this, and this, and you can be this person. And then when they were in China, I think they went to China to shoot some scenes, and he said while they were there, they would just cut on a scene, turn around, bring Michele Yo over, and be like, "Yo, run through the street right here, and we're gonna shoot this real quick." And the AD would just be like, he said that I wish I could see a picture of it. They might have one of their slate. He said that their slate was like scene 4BACD -4C1 -L2.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah, that's
What
certainly
the
something. How do they
fuck?
keep track of all that shit?
Yeah.
Like their AD, their
Well, that is how the
post,
AC
po-
the AC breaks
post
the thing on
department.
there, and they take
Yeah.
a fucking picture of it. That's
Yeah.
exactly how.
Yeah.
But someone,
Imagine
the
being at AC.
editors and the ACs got to fucking log that also on
Mhm.
fucking piece of paper, and I'm sure in a fucking laptop somewhere. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
important as fuck. But that's what visual. I feel like a lot of
yeah.
visual effects. That's always is how it's been. It's just like, can you imagine? You know what? I think the biggest visual effects feat ever in the history of anything was, besides for ILM doing what they did, but is Lord of the Rings. The way that they made that movie,
Yeah.
the practical and visual effects, the way that
Weta
they fade
workshops.
into each other, like that. I mean, that's who does the Avatar shit. Weta does all the Avatar stuff. But yeah, like the combination of using practical and digital effectively, the best to me was Lord of the Rings. Like that's where I thought it started getting like, and that was a long time ago. That's like 20 years ago, and like they did
Dude,
it so
they did
good.
so good. That's
Yeah.
they didn't try to push the limits. They used
No.
what they had and they enhanced it. I think they do it great in this movie too.
I do exactly. I think I'm just saying, like we're talking about the history. Like that's the first time where I saw it. Where I was like,
Mhm.
damn. Like, not saying that ILM didn't do great shit, but like there's a difference between like the way that they use practical makeup effects
Yeah.
and mixing with digital in Lord of the Rings than watching fucking Phantom Menace. You know what I mean? There's a big difference in that.
Phantom Menace, but I would go back to the original Star Wars. I would compare him to the original Star Wars for sure.
Well, that was out of necessity though, because there was no other way to do it. If George Lucas could have done it like he did Phantom Menace back then, he would have.
But the way that's how. But I think ILM killed it then, and then ILM just kind of started doing their own thing.
Well, ILM still kills it. You know what I
They
mean?
do, yeah. I'm not
They
talking
do
shit.
everything, and then like it's
But
just.
that's what I'm talking.
like,
they had to.
When
they
you got
had
6
to-
people doing it in a fucking room though on a MacBook, like that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. They had to
These guys are
marry
good, man.
practicals and visual effects in that.
And
way.
also,
So
like they're probably 1/10 of the fucking price.
let's be honest.
is
The first
probably a big
one's
thing.
the first one we saw that was the best to do that was that still holds
Jurassic
up
Park.
today. It was Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Yeah.
100%.
You're right.
100%.
Yeah.
You're right. Actually,
That's
that
the
was
good,
it because
good,
we saw that in theaters, and we didn't even realize it either. We were so young that we were just like, oh, that was really cool. Like we saw something that a lot of people had seen it at that point. Our parents were probably like, holy shit.
It still
like,
holds up though.
Amazing. Oh, it's amazing. It's because it's Spielberg, dude.
It's because it's Spielberg, and you just got to know what to CG and what not to CG.
Exactly.
And who's looking at what.
And that was 7 years before Lord of the Rings.
They didn't push it
All right, it's
quite toward Lord of the Rings, especially like
no, but still,
yeah,
that was like the first time you were like, holy shit, like
the swarms.
Even all those like ILM documentaries, it always says like Jurassic Park was when they knew they were actually changing like the world, because Pixar came out of that at that time too. Pixar was an offshoot of ILM. Anyway, we're getting real deep into shit. We're
just a note.
I love this shit.
Consider comparing those movies. Think about the budgets of those movies. Think about the budget of Lord of the Rings, the budget of Jurassic Park.
Suck my budget.
Yeah. I don't have it in front of me, but I have the budget of Everything Everywhere All at Once in front of me. Guess what that budget is?
It's probably like 20 million.
I'm gonna guess 31 million.
14.3.
Yeah, I figured it was lower than
pretty,
20, but I didn't
pretty
know
impressive.
No, and that's what I mean. What
14,
these guys did was amazing, and like the difference is too is that like, but the flip side of that, Jake, is that like they even said like, don't watch this on DVD because you're gonna see shit. But that's not what this movie is. Like, this movie's not Jurassic Park.
Right.
Jurassic Park you're watching because you've never seen a fucking dinosaur in a movie before that looked like that. This is like you're going to see a movie about the multiverse, about a family trying to reconnect.
Are they using the same technologies and graphic systems and shit? Yes. Are these graphics the same as Jurassic Park graphics? No way. Nobody's trying to make you believe that anything exactly. That these it's like apples and oranges comparing, but
100%.
Yeah,
sure. But there's some impressive edits for sure, though.
Oh, yeah, I agree. This is an
impressive
fucking movie.
To make it,
there's nothing
in ways to make it look more realistic.
There's nothing unimpressive about anything about this movie. The choreography, the cinematography, the sound editing, the editing, the directing, it's all the acting. It's all fucking on point, and it's all working in a very cohesive way, which is a testament to the Danielses.
Yeah, it's seamless. Which is watching it, the experience. It's great. It's I mean, sure, I'm not one to dissect a movie, fucking pause it, go frame by frame. That's a waste of time. Enjoy the experience, and what they did, they captured that experience so well.
My only point with that is that if you did that to Jurassic Park, you wouldn't see anything. That's the only point I was trying to make of that. I mean, but they don't give a fuck. That's not what they're trying to accomplish with this movie.
Exactly.
It's not the same thing. Yeah. Anyway, so where are we? I think we're not getting far in the story at all.
I mean, what does it matter?
It's hard to get far in the story because there's so much there. But I mean, we got the scope of it. I mean, they were in the building. Jobu Tupaki came. There's conflict within the family because there's certain family members are from different universes. You could get the Alpha Gugu, who's all dead set on fucking trying to kill Jobu Tupaki, and yet Evelyn still sees her as her daughter.
Yeah, there's a scene.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's a scene where she meets Alpha Gogo, comes in, and Alpha Gogo gives her a gun and says, "You gotta go kill her right now." And is that? So maybe she just doesn't. She just can't get her mind around the fact that that's not her daughter, I guess.
Right. And just the introduction of Jobu when she first walks in, she's like, was she walking a pig in a fucking Elvis costume?
That's the scene I'm talking about. When you're introduced to her as the villain, like she's amazing,
so funny, and like she's like turning cops into like glitter. Like what? Like someone tried to like what did she turn into dildos? Like were the cops' guns or something? I don't remember.
Yeah,
but yeah, it just
something
like turning things into different things. Like
dildos, dude. She kills the first couple scenes she's in. I was like, all right, I don't know who this is, but whatever. And then once she comes out as Jobu Tupaki or Tadaki, she fucking. I was like, all right, I'm afraid of this girl.
Yeah,
she's scary.
She's great.
She's a master of the universe.
Stephanie
Tabaki.
Yeah. Real name.
Jobu Stephanie Tabaki.
So what is this movie about?
Family love.
It's about it is.
That's what it's about. It's about loving your family and loving.
Accepting about fighting people for who they are.
It's about.
I don't think it's about fighting at all.
Well, listen.
Shut
your fucking mouth and listen. Maybe. How about this? It's about fighting.
Go ahead.
It's about fighting, but it's not about violence. It's about fighting for what you love, and sometimes fighting with love and fighting without violence.
Okay. Fighting with googly eyes.
That is exactly what this movie's about, idiot. He teaches her to fight with love, with patience. That's how Ki Kwan fights. That's how he battles for his family. He fights with making cookies instead of fucking being angry. He fights with being nice instead of why can't we? Did you not see his speech in the middle of the fucking movie?
Gotta be kind.
He's telling everybody to be kind. We need a family meeting.
And the climax essentially is that fight of her going up those stairs and not fighting anyone.
Of love.
It's a fight of like her spraying the guy with like her wife's perfume, her adjusting
I just want to rewind
someone's
this when
neck,
you were like this.
Yeah.
I don't think it's about fighting.
That's not about fighting. It's not about. But like you're right. I should let you finish. It's not about violence, but it's like about in that way of fighting using.
It's about how you fight.
Tools in this sense, love, and kindness, and acceptance.
Instead of yelling and being angry, she figured out what people like not M. Night, like Hayden Christensen or whoever played the Sixth Sense kid found in the end. Maybe I could just help these ghosts. Haley Joel Christensen.
Haley Joel Osment.
Maybe I could help these ghosts and they could just move the fuck on instead of bothering me. That's what she does. She helps all these different versions of people that are in her life trying to fuck with. They're not fucking with her. They're hurting. And hurt people hurt. And you know what she got to do? She got to not hurt. She got to heal. And she does. Message.
It's beautiful, man.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. It's nice.
I like it.
It's true. That's what it's all about. Love, bro.
Joby Tupaki. 2022.
Oh, yeah.
I got a feeling that there could be a sequel to this movie.
Really?
I do.
I don't know. I could see it. I don't think it's necessary, but that's how I feel about all original movies.
I mean, the movie ends halfway through and then continues.
Yeah, when she dies.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, some of the points were interesting when they did like the everything is how it started, and then like later in the movie, everywhere. And then she died, and then all at once. I remember all at once I was thinking like, shit, this movie's still going, but it was only like a 5
Part
minutes
3's like
of
10
the
minutes.
after of yeah. But I remember like in the theaters, I'm like, holy shit, this is still going. How long is this movie? Not that I was minding it, but it does at time feel a little long. I'll if I have a criticism.
Well, there's just so much fucking story to follow.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so packed with things.
You're given too much. You're given so much information that you're just like, oh my god, like how much more can there be?
And the way they do the titles
at times maybe
makes it like because you watch 30 minutes of the movie, then you see the first opening title, then you watch another hour, and then you see the second opening title, and then
that's pretty cool.
Like, oh, shit,
that's a cool
two.
thing to do. It's like so different.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes a good mid movie title sequence than Jake, right?
I love them.
Jake's all about it.
They're the best.
Name your top 3.
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay.
3 is good. You can come up with 3.
It's way funnier when you say name your top 14.
That's about 17 minutes in.
Which one? I was talking over you.
17.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's a little early for my liking. 17 minutes in for their opening credits.
A little early.
Drive My Car had a really nice late drop.
That was an interesting movie.
Yeah. Think of another
Departed's got like a 10-minute in, I think.
Yeah.
When DiCaprio starts like working out in jail and it just starts, the Dropkick Murphy song comes on and then the fucking credits start. Yeah.
Dude, they're fighting with you know what they're fighting with hot dogs on their fingers and I'm crying watching Jamie Lee Curtis and Michelle whatever fight like a mad couple with hot dog fingers. I can see, and I haven't talked to, I can see like my parents' generation getting through this movie and being like, I didn't really get the hot dog fingers. I didn't like it. Like I could see, can you see those types of people that are watching this movie? Like, I didn't like all the dildos, you know, like shut the fuck. Right. Did you watch the movie? I don't know. I'm having an argument with nobody because I'm just thinking of like people that I could like that would have this argument, but I haven't heard that from anyone. I haven't heard anyone that doesn't like this movie.
Yeah,
I've heard a couple people like it's too weird. Like, but that's kind of, that's all like the only.
Would
two
you
negative.
expect
It's,
that from
it's
that
never like bad
from those people though? Like, was it like is it like
Yeah,
Drew Liner
I think
or something?
so. It's just they're just kind. Yeah. I mean,
I
my
wonder if
my
Drew. We should
girlfriend
call
even
Drew
wasn't
Liner and see
that
if
she
he
wasn't
likes
that
this
into
movie.
it.
Drew
Your
Liner
girl?
surprises me sometimes.
Yeah, she
You're
wasn't that in.
oh, okay.
She's particular. She's into like
She's
period
also
pieces and true
Brazilian.
stories and shit like that. She is, yeah. So like this
Brazilians are
movie
notoriously rude.
was a bit exactly.
Just
so
kidding.
rude.
That's
Just
pretty
kidding.
funny.
Just kidding. Shout out to Jake's girlfriend.
She actually doesn't like genre
Me?
blending, which I actually love. Like I love a movie that can blend genres.
Most girlfriends don't
Like,
like you.
My girlfriend doesn't
I think
like
she
me.
likes when a movie is more
Probably because I keep
straightforward.
calling her my girlfriend.
Yeah, it's a wife now. That might be have something to do with it.
Oh, that's funny.
Everyone's girlfriend likes me. I'm Fun Anthony. Uncle Tony.
You're Fanthony.
I'm Fan.
Funny, Anthony.
Uncle Tony.
Yeah.
Uncle Tony.
I'm Uncle Tony.
You're old enough now to be Uncle Tony. So
I
gonna
am
tell you that
Uncle
from now
Tony.
on.
Wait,
You are Uncle Tony.
is
Yeah,
there
I
like a
mean,
real
these are
Uncle
nephews.
Tony that I should be?
I mean, Uncle Tony is just a spirit, right? Spirit animal kind of thing.
All right. Do you have any
Uncle
actual
Tony.
nieces or nephews? You don't, right?
I do. I have a niece.
Oh,
You know what her name is?
Claire.
Jobu Tapaki.
Whoa.
Oh,
No, but it is Joy.
My second guess.
Her name's Joy.
Oh no shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have
Shout
other
out to Joy.
siblings other than Sarah?
No, but and Sarah will probably never have kids. She's not a child person.
Okay.
My wife's twin sister
Ah, there it is. That
has a
makes
little
sense.
baby girl.
The other side. I see. That makes sense.
I think that's still niece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like,
definitely. It's through marriage, but it's still your niece because she's your sister's or your wife's sister's child.
Indeed.
back to the movie.
Back
I
to
mean,
the
you
movie.
can love her less than you would if she was Sarah's kid. It's fine. We don't care. Hey,
Let's
you
talk
can,
about-
you
let's talk
can
about
love
the
her
hot- the
more.
hot dog
Even
thing.
like, who
Yeah,
knows?
whatever.
Either way,
Yeah.
we'll never
I
know.
don't know. If
Only
Sarah
you
had a
do.
kid, I'd probably hate it.
Oh, that was a
I
good response.
think the hot dog thing, that was another part. Like the another message in that was like use what you have. Like, you got to appreciate what you got. Because like these women didn't have real hands; they had hot dogs for hands.
So they
but
got really good. With
they were able they got really good with their feet. One thing I noticed was really funny was Jamie Lee Curtis's character has a brace on her wrist the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
When she's playing piano with her toes, there's a brace on her ankle.
That's awesome.
I found that pretty like it's just another one of those like good job Daniels, because like just
They're
little
great.
details, or like the detail oriented is so good.
This movie's beautiful, and
It is.
what a fucking film to bring back Data.
Oh yeah, glad he's back. Looking
Glad
for him
he's
in other
back.
things.
He probably won't be back for long. He probably is just gonna one and done. You think? You think he's gonna do more?
Well,
Nah,
the
if
only-
this dude
the
wins
only
a
thing I
fucking
saw-
Oscar, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Everyone's gonna
Yeah,
be like,
well-
"Yo, we need that guy in our movie."
We need.
Well, I guess
like
he's already going
him,
to be in the second season of Loki.
Oh, that's cool.
Him
Yeah.
as the successful him was like fucking James Bond. That guy can do
Right.
anything. He can do anything, man.
He
Right.
should be the new James Bond. We should start a petition for that.
He should
Right.
be in the new
He's like 60, but who
Who
cares?
cares?
Raiders of the Lost Ark or Indiana Jones.
I mean, Indiana Jones is
Shit, that's a good idea.
He's still coming out. There's a new one coming out.
That's what I'm saying.
He's just
He should-
tall around.
I'm not saying he should be. Yeah,
He should
he's-
take over.
That's a great
He's
idea.
Tall around, dude. He's got
So
to
wait,
Gotta
so
bring-
Indiana
yeah,
Jones
he's like,
like,
"Oh, I'm
hangs
tall
up the
around
whip
now."
and then Tall Round picks up the whip type of thing.
No.
No,
Indiana
he's just
Jones
a
still
sidekick.
kicking it. Yeah,
still
he's-
sidekick.
like he
Oh,
just
I
shows
think
up.
this
there.
last Indiana Jones coming out
Yeah.
is like the
Passing?
bow to bye Indiana Jones. Yeah. Like, I
Like,
don't think he's gonna
altogether?
die, but I think he's like, yeah. I think this is
Like
it.
instead of Shia LaBeouf, we have Ke Huy Quan.
I mean, that would be great,
You know,
but I don't
that's-
think
it's better.
did
It's
that.
better.
Well, who could
I
be?
don't know.
Who
I don't
could
know.
be
Did
the
they already,
next?
did they already shoot it? Did they already do that? I know it's coming
Yeah,
out, but I don't
it's
remember
James
if they already
Mangold
shot
directed
it.
it. There's a
Yeah.
trailer for it. You can
Oh,
watch the
okay.
trailer.
Then it's coming out sooner than I thought.
It's coming out this
I
summer.
haven't been tracking it.
Everybody just wants the Raptor trainer to be James Bond, or not James Bond, Indiana. Why don't they just make him Indiana?
Pratt. He's got the look.
he kind of
but-
sucks though. He's very
sucks.
one-dimensional. He's kind of one dimensional.
Yeah, I feel like
he
I'm
would
gonna
be a
little burnt.
great Indiana
I loved him in
Jones.
Parks and Rec.
I'm not
You know who
saying
would be
he
great
should be
Indiana
in
Jones?
fucking Wes Anderson movie. I think he should be in
No,
Indiana Jones. Who's more one
they should-
dimensional than Harrison Ford?
I mean, yeah, I guess you're kind of right.
Fair, yeah.
I guess you're kind of right.
John Cena?
That's true. That's true. That's true. John Cena is actually. Did you watch his Peacemaker show? It was pretty fucking
but
great.
I saw the
Oh, it
movie.
was
where
pretty
he's
fucking great.
He is great.
Loved it.
He's great.
He's great.
It's
in
just
Peacemaker.
because he was the best part of that movie, right? Do you think?
I liked that movie.
I liked that movie too, but I think he was the best character in
He
that
was
movie.
top 2 or 3.
He was
I
the
thought
most,
the
yeah,
I
he was
thought
one of the most entertaining.
I thought
One of the
Idris
most
Elba was
entertaining,
pretty
yeah.
great in that too. I thought
Yeah,
Margot
it's just-
Robbie was
it's-
great in that.
It's just that character with the same James Gunn like wacky
Yeah.
world
Listen,
view and
John
just,
Cena-
I
He
mean,
was a
listen, Jake,
world-class
there's a reason why
entertainer.
there's a reason why the Peacemaker became a show and not
Yeah,
the other
right.
characters. So I guess
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
exactly,
That's it right
yeah.
there.
yeah, it's great. I think it's a great show. One of my favorites
It's
of
a
the year.
funny show. Definitely, it actually might be my favorite James Gunn anything besides for the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's fair. I mean, it was a very good show.
It was
I
good.
really liked it a lot.
It was good.
We need to do a James Gunn movie on this bitch.
Bring it
You
up.
could do Guardians 3.
Guardians 3. Yeah. There's
Right,
there's
the first
some of his
movie.
older movies are pretty good. Like his Slither, is that what it's called?
It's good. I mean, it's
And
good.
Then there's one called Super. That's
That
about
one's
like
good, but that's not as
pretty,
good as-
that one's pretty
I-
interesting.
I recently watched it and I was kind of like, yeah, it's good. It's all
I've
right.
seen those
Because I
movies.
thought
Yeah.
about doing it for a podcast.
Seen those? Okay.
But
I mean, I think Guardians 3 could get out to be a good one.
is that
Yeah,
coming
I'm
out
sure it
new?
will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
let's
this
do
year
new
or next
movies.
year?
It's Christmas. I think it's Christmas.
Oh
Okay.
God.
Well,
Oh, I'm not gonna wait.
I don't know if it's
Or
Christmas.
summer.
I feel like it's
Actually,
It's
summer.
Marvel,
I feel like
so
it's
it'll be
summer.
summer. It's Marvel,
Alright.
so it'll be summer.
Should we wrap up everything everywhere all at once?
Yeah,
I mean,
let's
is there
wrap it
anything
up.
else you want to say about the storyline or no? I mean, we went through it. It's
I don't
pretty
think
much.
so.
Yeah, we went
We
through
don't
it.
have to go scene by scene. I think we captured the message. We captured, we good nods to the visuals. High appreciation for this movie for sure. So
Yeah, this was a great movie made by filmmakers who are good at what they do, and they're doing things that not everyone else is doing. So that's even more respectable.
With
Yeah,
passion
good job,
that you
Daniels.
don't see
yeah, right,
that often.
true.
I mean, I think every director is using passion because they have to, and it's not really worth doing. But they pick stories and they write characters to where I think it's just a little bit more prevalent in the worlds they create. Like they want, I don't know if they want you to notice, but like they're putting more effort into you noticing that than most directors are doing just to make a
Right.
good movie out of it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
either way they're gonna do it, but like they're pointing out a little more than most people do.
I think you can just see that it's fun. Like you can see that they're having fun probably making this movie. Like you don't
100%.
see that in like Collateral. Like it doesn't seem like Michael Mann probably had a great time making this movie. Like, this movie seems like
No.
it was a fun process.
I mean, I'm sure Michael Mann did have a great time making them because if you're gonna make a movie, you gotta. But like, there's definitely like times I've heard like
Like I heard
there's
Michael Mann
an
did.
AD I worked with. Yeah, exactly. When we posted Collateral, he texted me. And I think I texted it to you guys, both of you. He was like, "Oh shit, it was dope to see Collateral pop up." My first PA gig ever was a PA on Collateral, and I said to him, I was like, "Oh, that's dope. Like Michael Mann's a legend. How was it?" He's like, "Michael Mann fucking sucks." And I was just like, "Oh, all right." But the
Yeah.
Danielses are probably like cool as shit. You know
Probably.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yeah.
I
Yeah,
liked
yeah.
oh sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, based on it or what you were saying, they were. Another thing I heard on the interviews, they were saying that they treated it like a summer camp. Every morning they'd get up and do some kind of activity together before they started doing it. Before they started, and they said it didn't always work out. Sometimes they had to be dictators, but for the most part, they would try to treat it as like a summer camp. We're all here to have fun and make something really cool, and we're your counselors. And sometimes we got to be like, yo, I know you want to do this, but we got to go do this. And they did try to keep it light. So they said some mornings Jamie Lee Curtis would be like doing a Pilates class for everyone.
Yeah. Because I think they met as summer camp counselors for like a film school
Oh,
or
really?
like kind of like a youth filmmaking camp like that. And
That
they were
sounds
they
like
were
a
both
movie right there. Why
they were both camp counselors, so it's like
It
it's
is.
fun.
Have you
I
ever
don't know if that's
seen,
where they met, but I
Friday
think
the
that's where
13th?
that's where they became friends. Like they went to school together, and that's what it was.
That's cool. That's a good movie. They should make that movie. They should make that movie in the vein of the way they make their movies, and that'd be a great fucking movie.
Right. I was just gonna note because the Michael Mann comment about the PAs. I appreciate Spielberg when he won. I think he won best
Best
drama.
picture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
best picture for
Spielberg.
Fableman.
Go see what Tarantino said to him.
Yeah,
Leaving it to Tarantino to know that fact too.
What did Tarantino say?
So because Tarantino presented him the award, and he said to him, what's his name would be proud. Who's the director? Was it Charlie Chaplin or somebody would be proud, and it's because
John Ford.
No, I think
it was whoever he first worked for.
So
what the fuck are you guys talking about?
So when Spielberg won his award at the Golden Globes, Tarantino presented it to him, and the first thing that came out was Quentin. What Quentin just said to me was that this director, I forget who it was, I think it was Charlie Chaplin, said that he'd be proud of you, and why that is because Spielberg was a fucking PA on a Charlie Chaplin movie, and he treated him nice, and he said to him, he's like, I know what it's like to be a PA. So
I don't think it's Charlie Chaplin, but it's
somebody.
I think it was a Western guy. It wasn't John Ford. Maybe. But it was in that same type. But either way, the fact that I appreciate that he thanked PAs in his Golden Globe speech, because you don't see that, like the bottom of the totem pole people never get the credit they deserve, and I appreciate that with the way Spielberg presented that.
I feel like that comes from a lot of people that didn't start as PAs. I know a lot of people that were just like, oh man, like I just started my associate producing gig. And then this is how you treat PAs.
Right.
Like, I see that. I'm not just pointing out producers. I see that with a lot of people that never actually
crew
had
people do that a lot too.
Like, have you ever been a PA? Why are you telling them to go buy you like? Why are you asking for? But you can't. This dude's not going to bring you 6 drinks. Like, I don't know, shit like that.
Right. Yeah. Like, yes, that's their job, but you can still treat them like.
Don't exploit them. Don't exploit PAs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I mean, if I want a PA to get me something I need, I'll just be like, yo, get yourself whatever the fuck you want too. You know what I mean? It's like, if
take care of them.
Get something that, be like, yo, get whatever you want. And obviously, like, the
if
coolest thing about being a PA is when you're coming up is like, if you're hanging out, PA doesn't pay for shit. You know what I mean?
If you're
like,
out with a PA and that PA is paying,
good.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
You got to pay for that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you just being grateful. Like, that's what I try to practice. It's like whenever PAs do anything for me, like I'm just make sure I express gratitude. I think that goes a long way.
It's a wild theory, Jake.
Just like this movie.
Does this movie make you want to be nicer?
What you got.
I mean, it can make you want to be nicer for yourself than for anybody. Because if you're really unhappy with who you are, and if you see opportunity to seize making it better, I guess you should, right?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say,
Shorts got really mad at us talking over each other, so go ahead.
At least what I thought about last night is it reminded me to look at things in different perspectives. Like, you can't just look at something one way and be like, well, this sucks. You got to appreciate, like, okay, what do you got? What else is there? What's another way to,
what can you do with what you do have? It also is about like time. And I know it sounds obvious, but it's like she says, like, time moves fast. Like, these characters in each universe are living one life until she woke up. So it's all like, if she's unhappy, that happens,
Yeah. Why you can't worry about something you're wasting your time worrying. You're wasting your time being upset.
Yeah. Time is the ultimate currency. Like, don't waste your time. It's all you have. Without time, you're done.
To the other point, there was points in this movie where you see her better off, you see her successful, and especially in the beginning, and she's like telling Wayman, like, you should have seen me, you should have seen how good I had it without you, like I was so happy, blah blah blah, I was so successful. Well, she doesn't say happy. I don't know if she knows she wasn't happy, but turns out not so much. But there are even points in the movie where you're like, oh man, maybe she would have been better off with Wayman. And then, I mean, I think the main point is you're better off with whatever you're doing as long as you're happy doing it.
I mean, that's what the last shot of the movie is, right? It's the whole family in the frame and doing shit
just working together
in the
one of the most beautiful lines
by herself, and then it was all of them. Yeah,
is in another universe, I would have been happy just being at home doing taxes with you. That's great. That's like almost as powerful as you're getting fat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that that and like just that whole "be kind" speech, those are like my favorite moments of that movie. And
yeah, I can see that. I think Michele Yo and her hugging scene in the end is my favorite. But
that was good too. Yeah,
like the speech he gives is pretty great.
In the we didn't even talk about Rakakuni. That's probably my favorite
yeah.
fucking universe.
That was just the
is where
funniest
Raccacoonie
part, yeah.
exists.
And the
Oh
fact,
my
like, she
God.
basically makes Raccacoonie exist because she misunderstood Ratatouille.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's kind of like,
But because it's an infinite universe, Raccacoonie does exist.
yep.
Oh my God, he's
Yeah,
just
just all those little things. There's so many little things in that movie are just so funny. There's just like what we said. There's a lot of information, but it's hard to
So much.
comprehend everything. But yeah,
so
it's
much.
great.
There's
It's a
a
great movie.
the DJA podcast. If you listen to that one, I can't remember who is interviewing the Daniels, but it's just another director, and he asks mostly scheduling questions, and it was very interesting. I highly recommend.
Well, yeah, I would give Everything Everywhere All at Once a good 7.3 out of 10.
8.9.
Damn. Almost perfect.
It's great. It's a great movie. Maybe higher. I'll go with 8.9 for now.
Damn.
I'm gonna go 8.69.
Oh,
Nice.
shit.
Nice.
All right,
Check
shout
it
out to
out.
Daniels.
Watch it.
The Daniels' eye.
Great movie. Good movie. Great movie.